Hey, it's Jake Mace, the vegan athlete. Come here a second. Look at the size of this fig tree. When you guys are planting your little 1 gallon or 3 gallon or whatever fig tree in the ground, don't forget to put it in a place that could accommodate this kind of size, because this is what will happen to your fig tree if you take care of them. And I was out here in the spring and the fall, and this fig tree was loaded with figs. What an amazing food source to have in your front or backyard. The fig is one of my favorite fruits. They are so delicious when ripe. There's so many varieties. Plant one today and you'll be eating delicacies for the rest of your life. Hey, this is Jake Mace, the vegan athlete, back here with my friend Seamus O'Leary. And hey, I have a question. How come these bananas are upside down on this tree right here?
That's something we'll have to ask Mother Nature.
That's
I actually don't know why they do that.
Mother Nature grows them upside down, but this is a banana palm.
Right.
And where are we at right now?
We are at the Maricopa County Extension Office, which is 43rd Street and Broadway.
In Phoenix.
In Phoenix. And what we're doing here is the third Thursday of the month, every 7:30 p.m., the Arizona Rare Fruit Growers Club meets. So that's what we're doing here tonight. And this here is the demo garden, the demonstration garden.
So this is going to have a lot of tropical goodness here at the demo garden.
Yes.
Including bananas.
Correct.
So these guys are fruiting, and it's middle of August, 115 degrees right now, 117 tomorrow.
Yes.
And these bananas are still fruiting.
They look good.
They look good.
And that's kind of the point of this, is to highlight that even in the middle of 115 degree temperature in August, with a little humidity, full sun, everything's been cooking for a few months now, that you can still grow these fruit trees here.
And this isn't even somebody's house.
These trees actually get very little care here.
Very little care.
Yes.
So if you had them at your house and you're giving more care, it'd even be better.
Correct.
Yeah. Cool. Can you show us some of the amazing trees that are growing here?
Definitely.
Okay.
I know we have a Rajapuri here in the garden, and I believe there's an ice cream behind us.
And that's the flower, huh?
Yes. I'm pretty certain this is the Rajapuri here, because this is the shorter banana.
Rajapuri.
Max out 6 to 8 foot.
Okay.
And then the bananas behind us there, I'm pretty certain are the ice cream bananas, because those get about 10 to 12 foot.
Nice. And it looks like next to the ice cream bananas, you've got a longan or longan tree.
Beautiful longan
with
tree.
fruit on it.
Yes.
Check this out. And so I know that on a tree like this, a lot of times you'll find the most ripe fruit just laying on the ground.
Correct. And also the old dried up ones.
The old dried up ones. You need permission to pick one of these?
I'm giving you permission. Although I don't have authorization to give permission, I'm giving you my permission.
Oh, I already picked it.
That's too bad.
All right, so I know that these are kind of like a lychee fruit, where you peel the skin off and it's got a grape-like fruit on the inside, correct?
Yes.
And in Chinese, they say this is called a longan, the dragon eye, and so it looks like a dragon's eye.
They look about right.
Does it look like an eyeball? And you don't eat the pit?
Correct, just work the flesh off the seed.
They're so good. And so these are the leaves.
Correct.
And I have a couple of these as well.
You have two.
And two of them, and these guys grow up pretty well here in Phoenix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they'll do fine here. You can see here, everything is on the east side of the building.
Right.
So many of these trees had afternoon shade when they were young to get started, but now that they're mature, they can deal with anything.
Which, so you're saying that this building is here, so the sun rises here, and then once it goes in the afternoon, the building gives shade to these trees.
Correct. There's shade after probably about 2-ish.
Okay.
In that neighborhood.
And that's good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
Cool.
And the building also helps with cold in the winter. These trees get no protection in the winter time.
The building creates like 5 or so degrees of
helps cut down on the wind.
On the wind?
Yeah. That's the most important thing.
Okay. So planting it against the eastern wall of your house is a good thing?
Yes.
Cool. Well, let's walk the row. It looks like we got a small pomegranate, but it's loaded with fruit.
They're about right.
They're about right.
Another few weeks here.
So it's like a mango of some sort.
I believe that is one of the new supposedly cold hardy mangoes out of California that we're experimenting with.
And then looks like you have some dragon fruit with, is this Jabuticaba?
Jabuticaba, and behind it, the dragon fruit, Pitahaya. Next to it is Barbados cherry.
Nice.
The acerola.
Yep.
With some flowers.
It looks really healthy. The leaves look really nice.
Yeah, he's doing well. And then next to that is the Malay apple, otherwise known as rose apple, water apple. He's doing really, really nice.
And that's this one?
Yes.
A Malay
Malay apple.
Apple.
That tree was planted a little over a year ago.
Wow.
It was about half that size.
Nice.
So it's doing really, really well.
Looks like you got another longan mixed in here.
Another longan next to it.
And what's this one?
This here looks to be a wax jambu.
Wax jambu.
Yeah, it looks like a wax jambu next to it.
Is a wax jambu edible in some way?
It is very good fruit. A little bit more on the difficult side to grow, so you're not going to see many of those around here.
Okay.
But it's related to the Malay apple. It's a relative. He's doing actually really, really nice.
He's got lots of flowers.
Yeah, bushy.
That's good. And these bananas look pretty healthy here.
Bananas are pretty thick. That's a Cavendish variety there,
Cavendish.
which is very similar to the grocery store fruit.
Nice.
Now, because nobody lives here, you'll find a lot of these trees do not get regular feedings in regards to food. You can see there's not a lot of mulch on the ground. There's not a lot of wood chips. So the trees kind of get by.
I know that in your yard and my yard, you can't really see the clay. It's all mulch.
Correct.
So the fact that we can see the clay here means they could do some more mulch here if they wanted to.
The trees could use a little bit of help, and we're working on that. But you see, even without that, they're still doing fine here. Through the middle, through the hottest parts of the summer, driest parts of the year.
Totally.
And we're doing okay.
Because this is literally the hottest part of the year right now.
August is hell.
This is the worst that they'll ever look.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. And there's also a couple trees I know that are very rare here, like a black sapote.
Yes, and that's going to be back in the corner.
Let's go see that one. Okay. So this tree behind me looks really nice and it's loaded with fruits, like these two fruits. So what is this guy?
This is white sapote.
White sapote.
Which is fairly easy to grow here. They will take cold. They'll take full sun. They don't need any babying. Okay. And the grafted trees will start fruiting after about year 2. Seedlings will fruit generally after about 5 years-ish.
And this one's loaded with fruit, so how do you know when the fruit is ripe?
Just experience. When they start to soften up a bit and they change color.
Okay.
The best way to eat the white sapote is to skin them, take the flesh out, freeze it, and use it in smoothies.
Oh.
Eaten raw, kind of
Right.
But frozen, they're really good.
It also looks like a tree that you like is the plumeria,
Yes.
which I see tons of in Hawaii. It's the lei flower
Correct.
for the lei.
Yes.
And this one's, what kind of plumeria is this one?
This one is a pink white rainbow.
Okay, and it's got dragon fruit growing up there.
Yeah, the dragon fruit is using it as the trunk as a trellis. The tree is a good-sized plumeria. That would be considered a big plumeria for the Phoenix area.
For the Phoenix area.
It's done fine through the winters because it's right up against the wall. If this were 10 foot this way, it wouldn't be half that size.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the building has made a big difference.
Huge difference.
With the size of the tree.
Right, because they want a more humid, hot climate like Hawaii that doesn't get a freeze and doesn't get too hot, but also is not very dry.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So this is another mango right here.
There's another mango here. There's a couple fruit down at the bottom that have not been stolen yet.
What kind of mango is this?
We believe it's a Manila. It is a
Okay.
seedling, so we're not 100% certain as
It's
to
a
the
seedling.
variety.
So this grew from seed.
Yes.
Wow.
And these will get a lot larger. They'll get about 2 to 3 times that size.
And it looks like, what's this funky business going on down here on this mango tree? What are they doing with these two? It looks like a cast on here.
That is an air layer.
And so they're trying to sprout the branch, basically.
Correct. That's a form of propagation. When you air layer, basically what you're doing is you're speeding up the fruiting process. So as opposed to waiting 5 to 10 years for that particular variety to start fruiting, if you purchase an air layer tree, it can start fruiting from year 1 or 2.
So once that branch grows roots, they'll cut it and plant that branch.
Correct.
As a whole new tree and then fruit.
Yeah, and then generally what we do with those is we'll let them sit for a year to root out in the pot and establish themselves. And once we know that it's taken, then those will go out for sale that way.
Nice. And in this gully here, next to this mango,
This is one of my favorites. That is,
this one here.
yes,
What tree is this one?
that is a black sapote, otherwise known as the Mexican persimmon, otherwise known as the chocolate pudding tree.
Mexican persimmon chocolate pudding tree. Does it taste like chocolate pudding?
It does when ripe.
Okay.
The fruit, when it's ripe, will turn black and mush, and it looks like pudding. It looks as though the fruit is rotten,
Nice.
but actually that's when it's ripe.
And this one looks like, I mean, the tree looks super healthy. The leaves are dark green, and it looks fantastic.
It's a beautiful tree. Black sapote, even without fruit, are one of my favorite.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Now this one looks huge, it looks really healthy, and does it fruit?
This one has not fruited yet.
Okay.
This was also planted as a seedling,
Okay.
and seedlings can A, sometimes never fruit,
Mm-hmm.
B, take a long time to fruit. C, you don't know exactly the quality of fruit that you're going to get off it. So
Right.
while a seedling will grow into a beautiful tree, if you're after fruit, you're a little bit better purchasing a grafted or an air layer tree.
Go find a black sapote that already does fruit.
Yes.
And graft it
Definitely.
to get the same fruit.
Yes.
But it looks fantastic.
Beautiful tree.
And if this tree starts fruiting, I want to graft off this tree.
Yes.
Exactly. This looks fantastic. And again, protected by the structure, by
Correct.
the building.
Yeah, you can see there's 3 walls here on the tree, and that has kept out the wind in the wintertime. So it has a really nice microclimate here. It's allowed it to thrive.
Nice. Mexican persimmon,
Mexican persimmon,
chocolate pudding,
chocolate pudding,
black sapote.
black sapote.
I want one of those.
It's got more names than U.S. Census. And then actually there's one other tree behind here that's doing really, really well, is a starfruit.
Yeah,
that was
let's see.
planted a little over a year ago, and it was maybe a third that size.
Really?
It's right behind the macadamia nut there. It could use a little bit more sun, so it's getting a little leggy.
Yeah, this back here is the star fruit.
Correct.
I recognize the leaves because they're always small and like cute looking.
Right.
Cute tree. And these leaves look really healthy because they're well shaded from the scorching sun.
Yes. Yeah, the tree is doing very, very well. And the microclimate back here is allowing it to grow a little more slowly. When this does start to fruit, it's going to do very, very well here. It's going to deal with full sun. It's going to deal with a bit more cold because the roots have been given a chance to establish
Right.
before it has to deal with any of our harsh environments.
And now the tree will grow into the sun.
Correct.
And then once it gets that, it'll start to fruit.
Yes.
And I know that I've got 4 starfruit trees from you. And that's probably, I mean, I don't know about everybody else. I like loquats too, but starfruit for me is like drugs.
Starfruit are good.
Yeah, I love them.
This is the absolute best way to plant a tree.
Just get it established.
Get it established, plant it in a microclimate where it'll be protected while it's young. Be patient with it and give it time to grow into our climate rather than placing it in full sun or full cold. If you have this type of setup available, take advantage of it.
So it's kind of like a long-term investment instead of a quick hand of blackjack at the casino.
Yes,
You're looking for a long-term investment that will make a healthier tree and give you more fruit in the long run.
correct. You will not beat Mother Nature in a sprint.
Right.
She will win every time.
Right, that's a good quote.
Slow and peaceful, and just let the trees do their thing is the best way.
Awesome. And it's getting dark on us, we gotta stop this video, but to close, you also got sugarcane, yes?
Very nice batch of sugar cane.
And this is the sugarcane part.
Yes.
And this also grows in Arizona pretty well.
They grow very well here because they like full sun. They like the heat. The only requirement is water.
Okay.
And this is ready to be harvested. When they get to that size, you can harvest it, or you can also propagate off of that.
Right.
Cut into foot-long sections and plant it wherever you want.
You can juice it, chew on it, propagate it.
Yes.
A lot of uses. And it's nice looking.
I use these in my yard as a barrier in front of the west-facing block walls because they'll take any amount of heat.
Really?
So I'll plant those in front of the walls to protect trees planted close by from the radiated heat off the walls.
Okay.
It's basically a tropical weed.
Nice. So good one for Phoenix because you can take the heat.
Yes. Inexpensive, fast growing.
Well, as always, thanks for sharing so many good tropicals with us, and I'm always inspired by the tropicals. I wish I lived in Hawaii, but it's cool we live in Phoenix, a place that can grow and get away with some of these tropicals. And we've seen some really big, mature trees that fruit like crazy.
It's a good second choice if we have to live somewhere.
Yeah.
Phoenix isn't bad.
Awesome.